Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of The Power in You. My name is Peter Northgraves. I'm a Proctor Gallagher consultant, and I'm facilitating this program today to help you understand that if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. This was a very popular quote that Bob Proctor always used to refer to. And after we go through this today, you're going to find out exactly how this works and what he's been talking about. So here we go. This first slide has a neat little saying. It says, if you're looking for a sign, your desire is it. A lot of times people are looking for a sign from the universe, from God, from wherever it may be, to help guide them in the direction that they want to go. Well, actually, if you have a desire, which we've referred to sometimes as your heart's desire, that is coming from the universe. That is coming from universal energy, whatever you may call it. And it is a sure sign that because you have that desire, you are entitled to go for it. It is your sign. So let's get into it. Goals. What are they really? A goal is an idea you have accepted that has turned into a burning desire. Now, this is really important to understand. A lot of this is today, actually. But you know what it's like to have a burning desire. I hope you do anyway. I mean, it could be from a small thing to a big thing. But this goal that we have has to be a burning desire. And we're going to be talking about how to get to that point. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad energy around the idea of goals. And that is the opposite of what we want. Often, when we hear the word goal, we think of work, or we think of possible past disappointments. We think, this is going to be a difficult thing. It's going to be a chore. And that's not what we're going to be, after today, this is not the way you're going to be thinking about it. Right now, we're going to listen to a little video from Bob Proctor, and he's going to be talking about how to set the right goals. So sit back and listen, take some notes. Sorry for the little ad. First, we have a little ad on YouTube here. Should be going any minute now.
I want to talk to you about setting the right goals. A lot of people set the wrong goals. Why do we set goals? Well, most people say you set goals so you can earn more money, you can get ahead in life. That's not how you set goals at all. You set goals so you can grow. You see, you will not move ahead if you don't have a good reason to move ahead. That's the purpose of a goal. A goal is something you put out here that you really want to go after. You've got to really want it. If you don't really want it, you won't go after it. You see, if you're going to grow, you're going to have to change habit patterns. You're going to have to shift paradigms. It's not an easy thing to do. I point out you're going to hit terror barriers. You're going to come up against things that just scare the daylights out of you if you're going to grow. If you're really going to grow into everything God meant you to be. You're God's highest form of creation. No one knows what you and I are capable of doing. Why would we ever think of staying where we are? We want to do better. We want to make it bigger. We want to run faster, jump higher. And we can if we have a goal. You see, the goal you set, you should know how to get there. If you know how to get there, it's the wrong goal. If you know how to get there, you've already been there, or at least you know how to do it. We called ABC goals. A goal is doing what you already know how to do. B goal, doing what you think you can do. If I put this together, if I had this and that, and I got it all together, then this would happen. You know you can do it. The C goal, that's where you're creating. You have no idea how you're going to get there. But because you can see it in your mind, you know you can hold it in your hand. Make certain that you set the right goal. And I guarantee you, you'll never have to worry about getting up in the morning. You won't have to worry about having a good day. You're going to be working toward your goal. I've got the most phenomenal goal. It gets me up early in the morning, keeps me going all day. You know something? I've already reached it in my mind. It's just a matter of time till it manifests. And that's the way you want to treat it. Now leave your information below. Click on the link. and get into this. Set the right goal. You'll be glad.
Thank you for that, Bob. So I hope you got a little bit of information from that. It's really, really important. We have A goals, B goals, and C goals. An A goal, like Bob said, is something that you've done before. It's something that is, is just going to be really easy. A B goal is a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit out there, but you still know that if you do X, Y, and Z, you're probably going to get it. But a C goal, this is the fantasy goal. This is something that is just way out there. And that is what we do at the Proctor Gallagher Institute, is we get our clients to go there. You go after a goal. So when we think of our goal, it should create excitement and enthusiasm. And if it doesn't, then it's not the right one. Your goal should create a positive emotion and feeling within you. How? A goal is something that you are going after that you've never done before. And a goal is designed to help you grow. It causes you to draw from yourself something that you didn't even know was there. How do we get to that place of having a goal that will do this? It has to be something that creates excitement, enthusiasm, and also creating growth and increased awareness. You have got to build a fantasy in your mind of what you want. You have to take time to sit down in quiet and ask yourself, what do I want? Use your mental faculty of imagination and really ask yourself, what do I want? What do I really want? Not what someone else thinks I should want, not what my family thinks I should want or my friends think I want, but what do I want? But what do I really want? So we really have to use our imagination and dream like you were a child again, because most of us are conditioned to stop dreaming and instead conform to society. This is another video from Bob, and he's talking about our imagination, which is one of our mental faculties. Again, this is something that I really teach to my clients, or is our mental faculties. And to me, the imagination is one of the most important. So sit back and listen to this. This is really, really good. Take a lot of notes, please.
Many years ago, I read where Napoleon Hill pointed out that the imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force that the world has ever known. And you know, the average individual uses the imagination, if they use it at all, against themselves. They imagine what they don't want. They imagine problems coming. Let's begin to use our imagination the way God meant it to be used. It's the greatest creative faculty that we possess, and we can build anything we want with it. I want you to wander around your home or possibly your office and take a look at all of the conveniences that you have there that you didn't have, let's say, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ago, 25 years ago. Do you know that every one of them, without exception, was first created in the mind of one individual with their imagination? Do you know you can use your imagination to go into the future and bring it into the present? That's what all highly successful people do. They see where they want to go, and then they act like the person they want to become. It was William James from Harvard's advice. He says it's the actor's technique. Act like the person you want to become. How do you do that? Well, you use your imagination, of course. You see, it's a strange phenomena, but the greatest gift we've got is used very well up till the ages of 4 or possibly 5. The little child, we always wonder what's going on in their mind. They're using their imagination. They're building wonderful pictures in their mind. But then they get to school, and wham, like that, it comes to an abrupt halt. It's called not paying attention. Daydreaming. Well, what they were really doing was exercising a phenomenal mental faculty. You see, we can see, hear, smell, taste, touch. They're for our physical benefit. As long as we're living in a physical body and corresponding with the material world, we will use our sensory factors. But you know, I have a couple of little dogs at home that can hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. We've got higher faculties. You have perception, the will, memory, intuition, reason, and imagination. These marvelous tools. We can take our imagination and build an image in our mind of how we want to live. Block out what's going now. Don't let your present results have anything to do with this. Just what you want. And it's with your imagination that you will build it. Everything that we have, the camera that I'm speaking to right now, was first created in the mind of one individual. Think of how our world's changed. You see, we were gifted with these higher faculties. We're God's highest form of creation. We were created in God's image. We were given creative faculties to use. And you know, they're only used by 2 or 3% of the population. It's almost inconceivable that people would wander around with so much power and potential and squander it. See, the average person literally tiptoes through life, hoping they make it safely to death. It's such a shame, and it doesn't have to be that way. Think we have giant corporations and little wee creative departments. And the primary reason for that is the average individual really does not believe that they're creative. Now think. Everyone's creative, and no one is more creative than another. It's just that some have chosen to use their creative faculties to a greater degree than others. Imagination, your imagination. What do you want? How do you really want to live? Build the picture in your mind. There's a power that is flowing to and through you. A creative, unadulterated power. It can be photographed leaving your body. Way back in the 30s, Semyon Kurlin, the Russian photographer, perfected a form of photography where you can actually photograph a person's body and you will see the energy glowing from them. Well, that energy flows into your mind. And it's the images you build in your mind that's going to dictate the vibration that this instrument you're living in is in. And the vibration on a conscious level is called feeling. Make certain that you exercise your imagination daily. Build beautiful images in your mind of how you want to live, and then hold those pictures there and live that way. The imagination, the greatest nation in the world, the imagination. You've got one. It's a marvelous creative tool. It deals with the invisible side of your personality. You see, no one will ever really see you. They'll only see your body, and they'll see you the great work that you do. Make certain that your work is great work. And if you keep your imagination alive, keep it active, you're going to have a phenomenal life. You know, life can get better every day, and it will get better every day through the proper use of your imagination. What a wonderful idea. This is Bob Proctor. Thank you.
Thanks again, Bob, for that. So isn't that interesting? I mean, our imagination creates everything in our lives. I mean, just think about it. Look around everything that you have in your home right now, or in your office, or wherever you may be, in your car, driving, listening to this on your phone, perhaps. But everything started in someone's imagination. Everything was created twice. First, in the imagination of a human being. Secondly, in its material form. So when it comes to setting our goals, this is our resource. This is where we go. We go to our imagination. And that's why it's really important that we ask ourselves, what do I want? Because when you really sit down and get quiet and answer that question honestly, all kinds of really neat ideas start showing up in your life. So like this slide says, when we sit quietly and ask ourselves, what do I want? Ideas will start coming to you, flowing like a river. I've done this many times. And to be honest, sometimes, depending on the state of mind that you're in, it may be hard to even get, 2 or 3 things to really come out of what you really want. But once they do, your mind just starts repeating, just going more and more and more and more. So what I ask you to do is get out a journal and start writing down all these ideas, and write pages if you want. In the workbook, there's a very small area to do this, but I recommend getting a journal out, like something like this, something bigger, and just go wild. Just have some fun and write pages. This is like your dream, your vision. This is all about you, not me or anyone else, only you. So let your imagination go wild. It's your dream and your fantasy. When you've decided on 1 or 2 desires from this huge list that you've come up with, ask yourself these 2 questions and answer them honestly. Am I able? And am I willing? I know there was a situation one time with Bob at a seminar where somebody said, my goal, my desire is to be the next Tom Brady, the next quarterback for the New England Patriots. And Bob said, are you able? And he said, no, I'm not. I'm 5 feet tall. I'm about 50 pounds overweight. And I've had no football experience at all in my life. He says, I am willing, though. I'm willing to train and do whatever it can take, but I think it might be a waste of time. So that just kind of gives you, a humorous answer to these questions, to how you should really think about it. There's a lot of situations where things that we want, for whatever reasons, we aren't able, unfortunately. But there's many, many more ideas and goals and fantasies that you have where you are able. You're very able, and you can be very, if you're willing, then if you've answered those 2 questions as yes, you have just decided your goal. Next step, do not worry about or think about how it will happen. A lot of people get really caught up in this. They come to me, a week, 2 weeks later after setting their goal, and they go, I don't see anything happening. Like, I don't feel really good about this. I don't know what, why. And I says, well, like, what's on your mind other than your goal? Like, where are you going with this? Where's your energy? They said, well, I spend my days just thinking about, like, how is this ever going to happen? How am I going to earn this much money? Or how am I going to start this business? And this is where you can really get stuck, because the creative process doesn't work this way. What you have to do is just think about your goal as if you already have it in the present tense. Okay, and I'm going to be talking about this here in a second or so. But do not worry how it's going to happen. Okay? That's totally up to the universe. How your goal will come into reality is the work of the universal power, infinite intelligence, or God. If you believe that your thoughts create things, then your emotionalized thoughts about your goal will cause the manifestation. I'm going to write this again, and you might want to screenshot this or take a photo of it with your phone. If you believe that your thoughts create things, then your emotionalized thoughts about your goal will cause the manifestation. God or the universe wants to give us everything we want, but we have to decide and have a clear mental picture of it. If we don't, it's like getting into a taxi and not having a clear destination where the driver should take us. And the driver of universal intelligence will take us anywhere we want, but only the driver knows the route. We may have an idea of where or how our goal will manifest, but the universe is always full of surprises. So when we're thinking about the how, we would think, oh yeah, maybe it's going to come from, this source or this person or this place. But lo and behold, 99.9% of the time, it's not coming from there. Okay? It's coming from where the universe wants to bring it. The universe does the work. All you have to know is where you want to go and have the faith and belief that you're going to get there. So again, this is really important, right? I'm not talking about it a whole lot here today, but we talk about it so much in my mentorship, right? That we have to have this belief of faith and expectation that what's going on in our mind is actually going to happen, right? We're not just doing these affirmations and doing all this work for nothing and then turning it off and jumping in our car and driving to Tim Hortons and forgetting about it, thinking, well, that's never going to happen. You constantly have to have faith and create the belief that what you're doing is actually working. And then you have to have profound gratitude to the universe or God that your desire has come to you. Again, we're talking about the present tense here, okay? Not about hoping that it's going to get here or whenever it gets here. It's here now. It's done. That is the attitude you need to have. That is expectation. That's where you really have to be. Yes, you have to think of your goal as in the present tense. You have it. It is done. You can't think of your goal like as any other way. You have to think like from the end, right? Rather than of the end. Let's say it's a car and you picture, you're visualizing and you have this picture of this beautiful car that you saw in a parking lot somewhere, and that's what you're thinking about. That is not going to do it. What will do it is when you visualize and having the feeling that you're sitting in the car and you're driving it. What does the interior smell like? What does the power feel like? The acceleration, how does it feel when you're holding onto the steering wheel, when you're driving it? You have to think of your goal from this premise, the present tense. And this is what most people don't know. This is how you have to think and feel about your goal. I can tell you, probably Bob Proctor has always said 3 to 5% of the entire population even knows about this, about thinking what you want as if you already have it and feeling it, feeling the experience of already having it. How would it feel? Like, think about this right now. Close your eyes and just go, how would it feel to have everything that I've ever wanted in my life? And just really think quietly about those ideas, about the feeling of it, the satisfaction, the confidence, the happiness. This is where you want to go. It's actual present ownership. The wish is fulfilled. There's a lot of repetition here, and Bob has always coached us that way, that the only way you can really change your beliefs is the same way as you got your beliefs, and that is through constant spaced repetition. So that's why I'm going over this many times here with these slides, because I want you to really understand this. When you go to think of your goals, you have to think of them as if you already have them. And really hold on to that feeling. So this is what we, earlier in the slide, I was talking about getting emotionally involved. I told you to take a screenshot of that slide. I hope you did. Because we need to get emotionally involved with our goal by visualizing it daily, affirming it regularly, and writing it down at least twice a day. Because the emotionalized feelings of your goal is what really sticks. It's what really helps to embed it in your subconscious mind. What now? So as you get emotionally involved in your goal, you're going to change your behavior. And as your behavior changes, your results start to change. Because your behavior is your action, right? So a lot of people think that, if I just visualize this and think about it a lot and talk about it a lot and write it down, that everything is just going to fall in my lap. Well, I'm not saying that it won't, but more likely than not, you're going to have to take action. And when you get emotionally involved with your goal, you will take action, because that's where the excitement and the enthusiasm comes into play. And when you start taking inspired action, that's when the universe responds to you. It says, okay, you believe this now. You're showing me your enthusiasm. You're showing me your belief. You're showing me your faith. Now let's go do this. And I'm going to help you out. The universe will help you out. Now we need to turn our goal into an affirmation, something we can easily memorize, say and write it anytime effortlessly. And what we use is a goal card. Now it's kind of probably hard to put in perspective here, but this is like the size of a recipe card or like a normal size stick-it note or something. But you want to write it down on a card, keep it in your wallet, your purse, handbag, pocket, wherever you can see it. And you want to feel that, you want to be able to memorize this card. So when you put your hand in your pocket and you feel the card, you automatically know what's on the card. So you don't even really have to read it. You just know, oh, that's my goal card. And it triggers that response in your mind about your goal. So on the goal card, like it says here, it says, you're going to start off. I am so joyful, grateful, and love that. And you'll write what your goal is, what your affirmation is. And in the workbook, I give you at least one example of how you want to write that out. You want to put a number, like a monetary amount on that goal card as well, because we want to be able to have something that we can really look at and measure. And money is a very easy thing to measure. Let's say, your goal is to earn $30,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month. I've seen people write on their goal cards that they want $1 million a month. And I've seen some people do it, right? It's a very, very powerful exercise. So individuals without a goal are lost. And it is the number one reason why so many people feel stuck. They have no compass. You have to wake up in the morning and get excited. I'm working towards my goal. So do you feel stuck? If you do, you now know what you have to do. You need a dream, goal, and you need a mentor to help you move through it. So many people I talk to every day, they feel stuck and they're calling me or I'm calling them and they go, Peter, what can I do? I said, you need a goal, right? If you don't have a purpose to get out of bed in the morning, to really know why you're going to work or to go to your business, or if you're in sales, to go out and do sales calls, if you're in real estate, to show homes to your buyers, you have no direction, right? And so this goal is so, so important. And it's the number one reason number one primary reason why people feel stuck. So if you feel stuck in any way, this is the reason why. So really think about going through the homework, just a little bit of homework in the workbook, and go through this exercise. And if you want to talk to me more about it, I'd be happy to set up a complimentary, no strings attached call with you. There's a link to it in the workbook as well. And I'd be happy to talk to you about your goal and how to help you get moving towards it. So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed day 2. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Am I able? Am I willing? If you can answer those 2 questions, you have yourself a goal and you have yourself the direction that you need. So I'd like to thank you again for joining me today. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about the mind, the greatest power in all creation. We're going to be talking more about our mental faculties. And we touched on the one there today, the imagination. And I hope you can make it or listen to these recordings because it's very, very powerful. So thank you once again, and I will see you again very soon. Bye now.